Hi everybody, welcome to my latest video. The rains are on the way, it's drizzling right now, and I currently have a giant hole in my wall, and I also have a massive stack of firewood to cover, and a whole bunch of other things to prepare for as well. This rain was a surprise, so it kind of threw a spanner in the works for what I wanted to get done in this video. However, I did get a lot of stuff done, including starting the window box and doing some more work on the interior of the window above the hole, building up the sides. As I mentioned, I got a firewood delivery. Sinead gets going on her winter garden, and probably other things that I'm forgetting as well. So let's get into the video. I think it's a good one. A bunch of different things happen, and I'll see you again at the end. These guys have the right idea. I love seeing them snuggled up together. Larry using Mikey as a pillow, Mikey not seeming to mind. And I gotta say, the mornings are definitely getting a lot chillier, and it's really tricky to get out of bed before the sun comes up because it's a little cool out there. But the sun is out now. It's a beautiful day. The temperature is still a little bit chilly. I've got my socks and sandals combination going on, but otherwise it's basically just perfect out here. And I'm really excited to get cracking on this window box. I've been looking at some windows and I think I can tackle it. I think I can do this myself. So my plans for today are to bust out the hand tools and just have a lovely time trying to make a nice square box. I've got 2 more pieces of wood like this. I wasn't going to use these ones, but I actually feel like they might be fine. And I don't think this has to be as perfect as I thought it might need to be. But before we get into the woodwork here, let's go down to the garden area because I have an idea that's going to involve a lot more grinding, which doesn't make me happy, doesn't bring me joy. But what does bring me joy is these lovely lemons. The tree looks packed again this year. So I have these things. They're concrete posts. This one looks a bit crumbly, so maybe it's not going to work. It's got bugs in there. Maybe this isn't going to work. That one looks pretty crappy, but I've got another one over here. And these are concrete posts that are made for holding the wires that support grapes. So you can see I've got some wires here, and then I've got some grapes sort of growing on those. They haven't done much for me, but they're ugly. I don't need them here. And so what I'm thinking is that I can chop this down to size and use it to block up the top part of the window to support the stones above. These concrete things are super ugly. I'm gonna get rid of them at some point anyway. And the long granite stones that I have, I think are really beautiful. So it's a shame to hide those away inside the wall. I might as well try to use those concrete pieces, get rid of them out of my life, and also support part of the wall in the process. So it's kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. So I'm gonna contemplate that, I'm gonna think about it. But right now, let's get into some woodwork. Hello, little butternut squash. Let's just get out of my way. I actually ended up bartering one of these guys and a thyme plant for a bunch of tomatoes. So I'm hoping to see if I can whip up a chutney. But that's gonna come later. Right now, let's make a box. So I could, of course, make a window box like a normal person, just using screws, sticking them in on an angle. But I like to practice things, especially when I'm using hand tools. And I'm going to use this as an opportunity to try to make a few practice mini mortise and tenon joints, which is what I'll be using on my tool shed. And so by doing the joints this way, not only do I get to practice making the mortise and tenons on a much smaller scale than the tool shed, I also get to make everything take way longer, which is something I love to do, and the whole thing will also be a lot more sturdy. I really love building things in this way, making joins, and so I feel like it's going to be a very enjoyable morning of work. I love hand tools, especially these little Japanese saws. They're just so satisfying to use. You could probably use some new ones. These ones are a bit rusty from being in the polytunnel, but it's still doing the trick. Let's switch to the big guy though. Yeah, there we go. So even though the sounds of sawing are wonderful, I'd say there's only so much sawing that people can watch. So I'm going to cut my 4 pieces to size and check back in again when I'm ready to do the joints. Okay, so I've cut some pieces roughly to the correct length. Everything will be adjusted later on. I've marked stuff up. This is going to be a mortise there, and on this end will be a tenon. So let's get marking and cutting. So this type of building has to be quite precise when you do these joins, and I really enjoy it. And I love that doing the window box on a small scale is going to allow me to practice a bit before I go to the big stuff on the tool shed. I've already done a couple joins on that, but I could definitely use a lot more cutting and marking practice. So this is going to be a nice little project to get me going. But I'm fairly certain that watching me mark wood up isn't the most riveting viewing. So I'm going to finish my marking, and you'll see me again when we're ready to make some cuts. Okay, the pieces are marked. We've got the mortise, we've got the tenon, this will be the upright, this is the bottom piece. This is going to be a bit more tricky and will probably involve me needing to sharpen my chisels, so let's start with cutting the tenon. So it needs a little bit of tidying up with the chisel, but we have a tenon, ladies and gentlemen. Now, onto the mortise. So this is definitely a very sloppy way to do this. I should have marked the depth on the drill bit to have it consistent, and I probably should have used a larger drill bit as well. But this is what I have, and that's what I did, and now hopefully I can clean it all up with the chisels. She's done! Finally! I've got a nice looking tenon, and I've got a mortise that it fits into. After much effort, I forgot how much of a pain in the neck these things can be. So I might rethink this plan of mine. I might do the joins on the bottom piece, and on the top part, I might just screw that thing on there because these things are taking forever. But I'm happy with how it turned out. Let's see how it fits. So despite all the time this has taken, it's actually turned out pretty good. It's in, straight, looks good, feels nice and solid, and I'm happy with it. But doing this work out in the beating sunshine was definitely not wise. It's really hot out here and I'm feeling very drained. So I'm gonna go to this very droopy shade and hide out a little bit. I need to get some rope so I can pull this thing up a bit higher, and then I can come under here and work rather than frying myself out in the sun. So it's Sunday today. I thought I would get more done than I did, but I'm happy with the proof of concept, and I'll do the same for the other side and then screw the top on. So I'm gonna finish work on the window box off camera. You've seen the general idea, and I've got some more stuff to do to prepare the window. I want to cut that concrete thing. So I've got lots of stuff on my plate. But right now it's time to drink some water, have a break, and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Good morning, everybody. It's a perfect day so far. Sinead and I were out here enjoying our eggs. Probably should get an actual table rather than just a lawn chair, but this is gonna be a prime spot, I think, in the winter. It's nice and sunny. The sunset's there, so perfect for sundowners, and a lovely spot for breakfast as well. The neighbors are out. You can probably hear some tractors in the distance. I've got the neighbor out pruning his olive trees as well. And there's gonna be some exciting things happening today. Sinead's gonna be down there in the garden preparing a winter garden, and I'm gonna tackle that piece of concrete I talked about yesterday. So I've got the safety gear down there, the grinder is down there, everything's ready to go. And I need this piece to be somewhere between 120 centimeters and 130. A little longer could work. And maybe I'll get lucky and maybe that's just the length of this piece of concrete, because I have a feeling that this might be a pain in the neck to chop because of the rebar that's in there. So let's just see how we go, but fingers crossed, it's already the right length. So the tools are at the ready, and I might use this as an opportunity to clear out all this crap on this terrace. This is the terrace where stuff just kind of gathers, and it's definitely not as bad as it was, but it's not great either. So I've got lots of random bits just to tidy up and get out of my way. I also have these banana plants that are looking very crowded in here, so another job on my list is to get these guys repotted into their own homes. So I've got that big one there, another one over here to separate out, and then there's a little baby on the way that I'll just leave there. But right now it's all about this weird concrete thing. So let's see if I can get it out of the ground. So as I mentioned, these concrete things are what's generally used in Portugal to support the grape wires. And these two pieces are here to support a wire for grapes, but I've never actually tended to these grapes. They've never produced any grapes. And it does seem like kind of a strange place to put it. I'm hoping, as I try to rip this out, it doesn't fall on my chili plants, but it does seem like it's in there pretty deep. So I'm trying to pull it this way. This might involve a shovel. Almost there. Oh, baby. So that went a lot more smoothly than expected, and I think it's because the rebar that's in here is actually quite thin, but this will absolutely be strong enough and do the trick for what I want it for. Woo, so that thing's pretty heavy, but I think with the help of Sinead, I should be able to maneuver it into place. But before I can put that thing into place, I've got a bit of work ahead of me building up the wall a little bit more so that it's above the height of this thing on both sides. And I'm just gonna crack on with that work, but I'll probably stop periodically to visit Sinead down in the garden. I don't usually do a winter garden because I'm always so fed up with all the work involved over the summer, and I use the winter to try to focus more on working on the house. But Sinead just did her permaculture course and she's feeling very excited to get her hands in the soil. So she's gonna do a winter garden this year, and I'm probably gonna help her from time to time, but it's her project and I'll be checking in to see how she's getting on. So she hasn't started the work just yet. She's still unwinding, relaxing in this fine, beautiful morning, but she'll be down there working soon enough and we'll stop in and say hello. It's a beautiful day still. It's really hot though.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous out here. And Sinead is doing her winter garden. Hi, Sinead.
Hi.
How's it going?
Educational.
It's looking pretty good.
Educational Monday, we like to call this.
We've had these in here for about 10 days, a week. But they're looking fine. I've been giving them a little spray with water here and there. Got some beets. They're looking lovely. We've got some little lettuces going in. Leti.
The leti are looking kind of mush.
The leti are not looking amazing, so we'll just see how we go. We can only try. We can only try.
So.
It's highly experimental and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So this is going to be Sinead's project. She'll start with the hugelkultur bed and expand over to the rest of the garden eventually. But this is where we're starting, and yeah, we'll check in again very soon. Bye. Yes. Happy gardening.
Thank you very much.
And I have a window to finish. So Sinead has planted her winter garden, and I gotta say she's been a little skimpy on the straw. I like to go big on the straw with a nice thick layer across the entire thing, even though nothing is planted yet. It prevents the cardboard from blowing away, and more straw kind of sticks together and prevents itself from blowing away as well. So, I don't know, lettuces are looking a little sad in here, but the beets are going strong, and we've got some broccoli in as well. I think it's Sinead's intention to buy some more seedlings ready to go in the ground, but she's also got some seeds on the go as well. So we've got the offensive to my palate, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, beets. I love doing pickled cauliflower, so that'll be amazing. Pickled beets is delicious as well. We've got some more lettuce to hopefully replace the sad stuff. Coriander, which I love and I think is a winter crop. And she's trying some onions. We'll also pick up some onion seedlings and then some garlic as well for November. So things are looking exciting, and I'll keep you guys posted on Sinead's winter garden. But right now, I've got to go prepare for a firewood delivery. So this is the current state of things out here. My window box is still under construction. The compost toilet door needs some attention for sure. Don't even really know what's happening over here. That's buckets of lime. This is just a whole bunch of crap. And I need to attempt to clear space here because I have a whole bunch of firewood coming, and this is where I want to put it. Hi, Sinead.
Hi.
So the firewood is here. It is a massive truck full. And I don't really have space for it, but we'll just see what happens.
There's more than you usually have.
A lot more, yeah. I'm hoping this will last the whole winter. Okay, firewood is absolutely not stacked, but this is gonna be my year of firewood chaos, I have decided. Sinead, thanks for your help. Let's do the last piece together. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, we tried. High five. So this is 340 euros worth of oak. I asked for a mix of mimosa, but that doesn't seem to have come. And he also charged a little extra. I'm falling down the hill. He also charged a little extra for chopping it up smaller. So I think what he's done is just chopped it in half, because these pieces are quite small, but that's okay. Impossible to stack, so we didn't even try, but a lot easier to get into the wood burner. So the days have been really warm, but the cold weather is creeping in fast in the night, so I'm really excited to have this delivery, and I'm looking forward to the first fire of the season. Hopefully not for a couple of weeks, but I'm excited for when it does come, and hopefully I have a window in the wall to actually keep the heat inside. The rains are coming. I can see them over there, and I think they're heading this way. There's a little bit of a mist. And I have a mountain of firewood to cover, plus a hole in my wall, and lots of things to do to prepare for the rain, which was a surprise. I wasn't expecting this till next week, so I've got to get a move on, covering some things up and just preparing. But before I get to that, let me show you where I got to with the window. I've been making some very slow progress. The mortaring of things is taking a lot longer than expected, as with everything. And I haven't actually pushed on with the wooden window box just yet, because I've got to cut some things down to size to make the proper measurements. But the idea is that the window box will poke above the stone just a little bit. I'll probably put some kind of silicone in there to seal everything off, stick the box in somehow that I haven't yet determined, and then the window guy will fasten everything onto that box. I also built up the ends, so hopefully I can take this stone out now. Yeah, there we go. And I've crammed some lime into the scary concrete lintel that had the rebar showing, so put some in there. It still looks pretty scary over here, but hopefully that helps a little bit. And then coming inside, you'll see that I have removed the lintel, the wooden lintel, so I can do some work. I built up the sides a little bit more, and I've put that concrete thing in with the help of a friend who was down working on Sinead's yurt. Thanks, Damien, for that. And yeah, so this is going to allow me to support the stones above and continue building up so that I can fill in this gap in the wall. And as for the wooden window box, that's still under construction, but I'm going to leave that for another video. This one has already been pretty long. I had a few surprise things to do, including the firewood delivery and also this rain that is now coming in a lot harder. So this is going to be a two-part video, with the next one hopefully seeing the completion of the window box. Also the addition of the stones up here. Hopefully I can get the whole wall re-stoned and pointed and finish everything off in preparation for the window guy. But right now, it's time to get out of the elements. The rain is coming down harder, the wind is picking up, and I don't really want to be standing out here. So I've got a lot of stuff to do, as I said, to prepare for the rain that's already here. So thanks for watching my video. I'm gonna say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.